Hi, welcome to an Herbal Primer by Greenfire Herbs. This video introduces the Herbal Primer and explains why we've started this channel. Using herbs for healing is becoming more and more mainstream. It seems that everyone wants a piece of this action, so we're bombarded by advice, tips, and suggestions on herbal use. We get advertisements in print, in our mailbox, and online, many of them making incredible claims. We see articles in magazines, advice columns in newspapers, clips on network news, talk show episodes, blogs, websites, and banner ads, all touting an herb or herbal supplement. And of course, what our friends see, they pass along to us. A lot of the information out there is pure hype. A lot of it is well meant but inaccurate. What starts out as good information can get distorted by the time it's been passed along a few times. Even the media is content to report on something they heard about without fully understanding it. On the other hand, there is also a lot of good advice out there, though some of it is out of context. So where do you begin and who do you believe? It can certainly be overwhelming. Growing alongside of herbalism is the idea that we need to take responsibility for our own health. But to do that, we need information. We need much more than a recommended cup of tea for a cold, or tincture to boost immunity, or capsule to keep our blood pressure under control. We need to know correct dosages, about potentially dangerous interactions with drugs, and what herbs should be avoided by people with certain conditions. We need to know what herbs are safe to take long-term for chronic conditions or to maintain good health, and what herbs are best taken for a limited time for acute conditions. We need to know what herbs do. It wasn't too long ago that herbal books were hard to find. Today there are whole sections in libraries and bookstores, and more are published every year. These books range from recipes for herbal teas or bath and body products, through lists of herbs and what they're used for, to introductions to herbal healing. The right books can give you a good foundation, but for most people, just about everything in them is new. There's too much to learn and too many new concepts to master. It can certainly be worth it. Herb-based traditional medicine is still used successfully by most of the world today. The World Health Organization estimates that in many countries, as much as 80% of the population uses herbs to maintain good health and as medicine when needed. Many of today's medications are based on substances extracted from herbs. According to WHO, much of the material currently extracted from herbs is used in modern medicine today in the same way or similar ways as they were used in the past. It's no wonder that pharmaceutical companies are always looking for new medicinal plants. Herbs are serious health care. One of the primary advantages of herbalism is that it promotes good health, preventing illness and disease from occurring in the first place. But again, you need to know what you're doing. In many parts of the world, herbal knowledge is common. Everyone knows of and uses several herbs for maintaining good health and for dealing with injury or minor illness when necessary. Family or village elders know more and are often consulted when needed. Trained herbalists are brought in when things get serious. In this country, most of us know very little. Where do we go to learn more? Well, we may use Google, check a magazine article, consult a friend, or read an herbal book. We're experimenting with something we know little about, relying on questionable information to safeguard our health. Why? Well, we're coming to the conclusion that herbalism has a lot to offer, both in maintaining good health and in taking control of our health. But we need to know a lot more than we do. We need information we can trust. We need a way to understand herbs and their uses. We need a way to put all the bits and pieces of information we have into a system that makes sense. This is not a complete herb course, but we will cover a great deal about herbs. This is a primer, a basic introduction to herbs and herbal healing. Think of it as an Herbs 101 course. Our goal is to cover the foundations of herbal healing. The Herbal Primer will give you a context for learning about and understanding herbs. We will cover the definition of herbs and herbalism. We'll talk about herbal safety, herbal energetics, the actions herbs can have on our bodies, how herbs work, herbal preparations, the world's major herbal systems, and more. New ideas, concepts, ways of looking at herbs and health, and unfamiliar terminology are presented a little at a time in an easy-to-understand format. This will help you evaluate the suggestions and claims you come across, or to make it easier to read and follow those books that have the most to offer. This will get you started using herbs safely and effectively. If you decide you want to become an herbalist, this will set you on that path. So please, join us next week for Lesson 1, What is an Herb?